Welcome to episode 197 of Say Like a Champ. It's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Strizzy. What's good, SLAC fam? Man,
Back in the building.
Bro.
Back in the building. Here we go again. We got a lot to talk about. Another crazy weekend in sports, however you want to call it. And some major news, too, out of the golf world today that we're definitely going to get to later. But the main thing here is the NBA Finals. We're going to spend the majority of our time on basketball because basketball is the topic right now, especially with my man's team being in the finals. So, Strizzy, just give us a little preview of how you're feeling after game two. Just a little preview. We'll talk more later, but
Dog, I felt good after game one, and we'll get into why.
I like that answer. I
felt good after game one, truthfully. And I'll let y'all know why after game one I put $200 on Miami to win moneyline game two.
That's what's up.
Your boy came up, man. Like, I'm actually feeling really good. We have to respect Denver. They literally are the number one team in the league. They've been plowing through everybody, so we have to respect them for sure. But health is the only reason why this team is the 8th seed. You know what I'm saying? It really is. We were the number one seed last year in the East. A game away from being in the finals last year too. So. I think a lot of people are counting Miami out. They've been like 8 to 9 point underdogs in every game since the Eastern Conference Finals game one.
Yeah,
and they're showing people why they're supposed to be there, man. So I'm loving what they're doing. But we'll get into more why I think we were in good shape after game one of the NBA Finals, not just game two.
All right, I love it. So that's the preview here. We're going to get to our regular scheduled programming, but of course we have to welcome in our guests. We got Anthony Weston in the building. What's good? We got Kelly in the building. What's good? Yeah. We got Stephanie Washington. Hey, y'all. Jonathan Cooley. Gang on them. What's good? And then we got Grace in the building as well. Thank you so much for being here with us. And don't be afraid to hit that like button. That really helps. Lets people know that you're enjoying what we're putting out there. So thank you so much for being here. And again, this is the countdown to 200. So a lot of good stuff to look forward to coming up real soon. So I think that's it. I think that's all our disclaimers. Let's go ahead and get into our topics for today. Let's get it rolling. What's up next?
Oh, let's check it out, man, real quick.
Tune to NFL Talk. Let's get it. All right, so first topic of the day, NFL Talk. We're going to go ahead and get it popping now. Isaiah Rodgers, the latest NFL player to be investigated for sports betting. He made on his account, I think it was like hundreds, they said, of wagers between $25 and $50 range, including wagers on the Colts, including wagers from team facilities. Strizzy, what are your thoughts on this latest one and then just the whole betting thing in general with the NFL?
Stupid, man. I mean, like the rule in general, in my opinion, is stupid. But those is the rules. You know what I'm saying? Like those M's the rules. You know what I mean? Like, so you mean
right.
just don't do it, man. Like, you're allowed to gamble on so many other things. Like, there's no rule that says you can't gamble. You just can't sports gamble. And for damn sure, don't do it on your own team, because then it looks really bad, right? Like, if you gamble on your own team and you lose that game, if you gamble on your own team and a receiver, or you know what I mean, like there's a point where you can get an interception and you drop it, now it looks like you did it on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just the little stupid things, you know what I mean? And you already got to see too what happened to Calvin Ridley 2 years ago when he missed an entire season last year, and he didn't bet on any Atlanta games. So it's like, dog, he might get a much heavier suspension than what Ridley did. So I think the rule in general kind of sucks, but like, just don't do it. Those are the rules. You know what I mean? Like, maybe if he was gambling on like basketball games and baseball games, it's kind of whatever. You know what I mean? But you can't bet on your own sport, dog. Like,
and your own team, especially. Yeah.
You know the script.
Right. You already know the script, so you definitely can't be betting. But no, I agree with you. And you brought up a good point. Like, none of these players have learned from Calvin Ridley. That was like a high-profile player. The NFL was trying to make an example of him, gave him a whole year. And these guys are still like just doing it, like they just like as if they can't be found out. At least if you want to put some money, have your boy do it or something, you know what I'm saying? Or like you said, if you want to get your gambling fix, like go to the craps table, you know what I'm saying? Go play a lot of blackjack or something. But betting on your own team, especially right now, is just very foolish. So we'll see what happens to him. But I expect the NFL to go hard because they gotta do something to try to deter these guys.
Do it.
So All right, but I do before we get going too much more, Anthony Weston, he says I think they shouldn't be able to gamble on NFL, but they should be able to gamble on sports they don't play. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. Then they they wouldn't have the insider knowledge or whatever.
Sure.
But we got to add one more member to our panel before we get too far into this, because I definitely want to get Marcus's opinion. Marcus, welcome to the show. How you feeling, brother?
What up, dog?
What up, man? Sorry, man. I had bad connection where I was at, so I'm figuring out. Hopefully, it don't drop on me, but hopefully, it'll be good.
You straight?
Oh yeah, you're coming in loud and clear for us right now. So thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate you, and no problem, never an issue. You just drop in when you can. But did you see this about the sports betting?
No, I didn't see that. I heard y'all talking about it, but I didn't even see it. So that's crazy. I thought that was Taylor when I first looked at it. I'm like, what Taylor did this time? But that's not him. So
got you. Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, the NFL's investigating him right now, but the suspension or punishment or whatever have you hasn't been announced yet. But the most recent guys with the Lions, the ones that had bet on their own team and bet on football, they were suspended indefinitely and then ultimately released because they weren't, I guess, as high on the roster or starter type guys. So we'll see what happens to this Isaiah Rodgers. He is a starter, so we'll be watching that.
This gonna be really his first season back after he got suspended, right?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Okay. Andy's on the Jags now, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so he got his fresh start. He's going to the Jags now. Yeah, he did have to sit out all last season, but even before that, when he was gambling, he was sitting out for his mental health reasons. So it'll be cool to see him come back, but maybe he's got to put in a word for these guys. Like, it's not worth it, just don't do it.
Facts.
We'll see. But other news, Leonard Floyd from the Rams was signed by the Bills. The Bills still trying to add defensive line depth because Von Miller could be out into the season. So we'll see.
Really?
Yeah. He might. Well, not the whole season, but like he's not going to be ready for the start of the season.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I think like the first couple games that he's expected to miss. So we'll see. But Buffalo, they're trying to get things together. And they could be scary this year, but I still don't take them seriously after last year's playoff exit. What do y'all think, though? Buffalo back on track, or?
It's going to be hard. They lost some pieces, I'm seeing on the offensive side of the ball. I hear they're one of the bigger suitors for D-Hop, but, man, I love Josh Allen. I love him to death. I think he's one of the top-notch quarterbacks in the league. But until he stops turning the ball over in the red zone as much as he does, like, they won't be able to get over that Kansas City hump. You know what I'm saying? So they got to figure it out, but they're still in a good spot.
Yeah, they gonna always be a contender team. They got better, but I think they're gonna be like the Phoenix Suns. They had an opportunity, their window shut, so I think that they can't open that window back up. I think they had that chance, they didn't take advantage of it, so I think it's done.
Yeah, I feel you. It seems like they're getting a little bit farther away than closer from where they were. One other story that we did hear about late this afternoon, and Anthony Weston brings it up here, the Browns players being robbed. So this happened basically after a Sunday night out clubbing, early Monday morning, 3:30 a.m. Monday morning. Cleveland Browns player Greg Newsome and Perrion Winfrey, they were leaving the club, and as they were approaching Newsome's truck, 6 men, masked armed men, came out and robbed them of their jewelry, and then also drove off in Newsome's truck and just left them there stranded. But they are okay, but kind of scary. And actually, I read a story that another Browns player also had his car robbed this weekend. So kind of going crazy in downtown Cleveland. But I'm glad that they're okay. And I guess they were both back at OTAs on Tuesday. So
yeah, that's wild, man. It's always scary being a high profile, kind of person in this world. You never know, but people are always watching you. Cameras are always watching you. And paparazzi are they're a danger to you in a sense, right? Because they're constantly following you, taking pictures of you, tagging you and posts and stuff, and people see that, so they know exactly where you are, damn near all times. So it's tough, man. That's why it doesn't matter how big you are, how strong you are. Sometimes having security with you is a good thing.
Yeah, I think it is sad that it happens, and I think you should be able to enjoy your wealth, but also if you're in the club doing that type of stuff, you're contributing to making yourself a target. And I'm not saying that it should be like that, but I'm just saying it is like that, so you got to be careful or roll a little bit deeper. But they obviously knew who they were and they were waiting on them. So that is really scary.
Yep.
Anthony Weston said, this is why Jaw's carrying guns, man. Maybe if that's his excuse, but don't be flashing them when you're riding in the car, and let your cronies carry that then, you know. But Ja, that's a whole different story for sure. But last thing I wanted to touch on for NFL though was to say rest in peace to Norma Hunt. This is her way back with Lamar Hunt. Lamar Hunt was the owner and the operator of the Chiefs even before the NFL AFL merger, and Norma Hunt took over in his stead. So a very significant woman in football. Also had been to every Super Bowl. So that's what's up. And some are saying, it's fitting that hers ends with a Chiefs victory. But just want to say a quick rest in peace to Norma Hunt. And yeah, I think that was just about it for NFL. And I think we can keep this train rolling. But one thing I did want to see here and mention here was Jonathan Cooley. He did ask about our thoughts on the Steelers.
They're making some good moves.
What?
They're making some good moves, man. They picked up what's his name he played for the Bears and last year he played for the Rams. I can't think of his name. The receiver.
Robinson. Yeah.
Yeah, Allen Robinson. Like they picked up him. That's a good pickup. They did a great draft pick with getting the rookie, the cornerback. They did the corner, so they fill that spot because the defense is already good. So they got the receivers like Pickett, both Pickens and Pickett. They're gonna be a full year. So they're gonna be better. So I think they're gonna be a contender in the AFC. I still hate them though. I think they suck. I never. But you got to be a real person.
Realist, yep, I feel that.
They're gonna be a good team, but I definitely hate them though. I hope they don't do good.
I agree. I like what they're doing. I think Pickett is a winner. He's got that about him, and I think it was a natural fit. So I'm kind of glad that he landed there. They're gonna be a solid team, and always much respect for Mike Tomlin. Like I wish if there was any other coach or any coach I've always wanted to coach the Cowboys, it'd be Mike Tomlin. Just so much respect for him. So I think they'll be solid. Yeah. So Jonathan Cooley, you got a lot to look forward to for sure. Yeah. And also this one, the Chiefs, the White House visit. I don't know if you guys saw the clip, but Travis Kelce started to say something on the mic, and Patrick Mahomes blocked him off real quick and escorted him to the back of the line. But that was cool. The Chiefs over there at the White House. Would y'all be interested in going to the White House, or would it depend on the climate, or?
I go now. I wouldn't have gone, the last president, but, I guess, to me, it's one of them traditions. So, you go, but, the last president probably wouldn't have gone for.
Yeah. I think the whole thing's kind of corny.
Too. Right.
I think it's more, people always talk about it more than, when it actually happens, it's whatever. So. Yep. And I think it's goofy to see the presidents holding up the personalized jersey for no reason.
Yeah. He did something.
Yeah. Jonathan Cooley said you don't like that they have more Black Air Force energy than your team. Dang, Steelers always been mean though, all the way since. So, Anthony Weston says I don't think we got McDonald's this time. Right. All right, let's keep it moving though. We're gonna go ahead and go on, and definitely excited to hear. Strizzy, your thoughts on this next topic. All right, NBA talk. We're gonna get right into the finals and discuss what's going on and what happened in game 1 and 2, and see what our thoughts are now after seeing a little bit of this matchup, and then later on we'll get to some coaching news. But Strizzy, you gave us your little preview. So Marcus, I want to hear your take on the series so far and what you're kind of thinking after games 1 and 2.
Yeah, I picked the Nuggets and win 4-2, but I was picking them to win the 2 at home. I thought that the Heat would win that last game at home. At the game 4, they'll win that one, and then kind of push it a little bit. But I don't know, man. They were down. I turned it. I was like, okay, it's gonna be 2-2, so I turned it. And I looked at my boy Perk. He always tweet. He was like, the Goons. I'm like, what are you talking about? They didn't win the game. I went back and looked. I'm like, they picked it. They won this game. I'm like, what? So I said it before. You can't ever bet against Jimmy Buckets, man. So I don't know, man. I think it's gonna put pressure on Denver now because you're going back to Miami now. So hey, man, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's all I can say. Let's go Heat though, for real. I'm going for the Heat too, man.
Yeah, Anthony Weston says go Heat. I'm kind of feeling you on that too. After game one, Denver is seemingly dominant, but Miami still made strides even in that game. And then game two, the adjustments that they needed to make. Denver had one of their cliche kind of faltering third, fourth quarters, which they had a couple times against the Lakers, but it didn't make a difference, right? Yeah. Now you're going up against a team that was hitting all of their shots. So it will be interesting to see which game was more true to form. But I think the Heat caught on to something. I agree that the Nuggets have all the pressure on them now being the 1 seed. That's their first loss at home, which is another big milestone for the Heat, all playoffs. So I'm liking where they're at, and now it's a 5-game series. We'll see what happens from there. But Strizzy, your thoughts real quick before we get to the comments.
Yeah, man. Look, like I said before, like I felt actually really good after game one. You look at the ending score, and it's like, damn, Miami got beat by 11. But we shot like 33% from the field as a team. We couldn't buy a bucket and only lost by 11. And there were multiple times in the game where Miami caught up, and just again because they couldn't score. Jimmy had a bad game. Max Strus went 0 for 10. No one had a good game except for Bam, and even then, I put that in quotation marks. He had 26 points off 25 attempts. So realistically, that's not an efficient game, and we only lost by 11. So I knew in game two we weren't going to shoot that bad. Like Denver had about a week and a half off of rest. We just got done with the game 7, and we still kind of really held it together with a poor performance. So I put $200 on game 2 on money line Miami. That's how confident I was. So. And you know what I'm saying? Like the only team that's somewhat as good at home as Denver is Miami. So I don't know if we grab both games at home, but we definitely, I think if we can at least split it, I think we're still in a really good position to keep this a series. And like you said, I think all the pressure is on Denver right now. They're the number 1 team. They've never been there though. Miami's been there before. They've tasted defeat in the finals, right? They know that feeling of what it feels like to go home empty-handed. And I think right now they're hungry. Jimmy had a kind of a poor game 1, and he turned it around in game 2. And we're doing this hurt, you know what I'm saying? Like no Tyler Hero, no Victor Oladipo. At this point in time, though, I know Anthony's asking if Tyler Hero's coming back next game. He was questionable for game 2, so he there's still nothing that says he'll be back for game 3. But I'm almost kind of like, do we bring him back? You know what I mean? Like. He is the 3rd best player on the team, right? 20 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists a game is a lot to miss from a player, you know what I'm saying? But we've been playing so well and gotten used to playing in these playoffs without him. It's kind of like one of those things like, will it disrupt the current flow of how we're playing without him right now? So that's something else that Spo has to think about. But I'm feeling good, man. I think Miami likes playing as the underdog. I think they feel a little disrespected too, because every time they are the underdog, they're like 8.5, 9-point underdogs. So they love it there, and I think they hope it stays that way. But I'm feeling really good about how we're playing right now, and I hope they continue it up, man. I want this dub more than I think any other championship Miami's ever won.
Yeah, it would be a big one.
We always, I think at the beginning of the podcast, in the early days, we always give Tracy a hard time about Spoil being a great coach. But now it's a different story. I think he is a great coach. I think he made those adjustments. And like, hey man, I think you put Hero in there. I think you make the adjustment. Like you can't go wrong with add him to the team. So
no, facts. And that gives Denver more issues too. Like they gotta adjust to that as well. So I agree.
Yeah, but yeah. I think Coach Spo, I think he's gonna be a Hall of Famer coach, man. I think if you lose this finals, the way you did it, a play in and get the number 8 seed, you beat the 2 best teams in the East to get to the finals. Like, yeah, it says a lot. Everybody says he's gonna make those adjustments. I think he made those adjustments. I think going to Miami also, he's gonna have more adjustments. So I think Hero bringing in there can, like I said, it can hurt Denver. So
yeah.
See, man. But I want to say on wax, man, like we were wrong by Coach Spo, man. Like he's doing his thing.
I'm trying to tell y'all, man.
I will agree, but I still like giving Strizzy shit about Coach Spo, so I'm gonna keep doing it. But no, I do respect what he's doing, and this championship specifically this year would be definitely a crowning achievement. Like you can't argue with that. So
I mean, two finals post his superstar era. You know what I mean? Like
right, that's legit. And like we said, they are going back to Miami, so I think that they're in a good spot.
Yeah.
What's up, August?
What's up, Augie?
Pops? Good evening, Pops, and hello, Augie. What's good? Welcome to the show. Thank you guys for joining. A couple of things I wanted to get in here. Anthony Weston said, man, this series just lets me know if D'Lo would have played better, the Lakers would have won the series. Man, D'Lo played really bad. I don't know if would have won, but they would at least won a game. You know what I'm saying?
If D'Lo would have played at all, you know what I'm saying? He would have played at all.
Yeah. But
he can't have 40 points and lose a game. That was still crazy to me.
Yeah. People keep saying LeBron has not had good coaches. Mike Brown has spoiled good coaches and LIV. Yeah, LeBron's had good coaches.
Yeah.
It's just he got a lot of coaches fired too.
Yeah.
And speaking of coaches, that's the perfect segue. Thank you so much, Anthony Weston, for that one. We already know what's happening with the Sixers and the Bucks. But now we got some new news. Frank Vogel is the new head coach of the Phoenix Suns. Marcus?
Terrible. I just don't get it. I don't get that. Like, how you getting the job? I just don't get that. It just, I don't know, man. Maybe it's something we don't know in the background, but I just, that pick, I would never pick that. No, I've never seen that happen. I could see him going to Detroit, but the Suns, that was kind of like, wow, you know. So
I was caught off guard too. I'm wondering if, you know, I'm assuming the players had to sign off on that. So somewhere there's respect there, I guess. But it does seem kind of weird. But if he can make them play some defense, maybe. Strizzy, what do you think of Frank Vogel for the Suns?
I forgot he was out there.
Right, he took a year off or two. Or
you know what's funny, man? I'm trying to kind of, you know, we live in Phoenix, but it's not my team, right? So I'm trying to be a little optimistic, you know what I mean, for them. Vogel really has been successful everywhere he's gone. He was successful with, the
Magic or
Paul George and them, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, the Pacers. He was successful with the Pacers. Obviously, he won a championship with the Lakers. I'll be honest. When the Lakers had those 2 down years, I don't blame him for that. I really don't. I don't really think that was his fault entirely. So, you know, maybe they can figure some things out. Maybe he can get more out of DeAndre Ayton because he is a defensive-minded coach. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if they can, you know, play some defense and not have to worry so much on scoring 120 a game, you know, maybe they can change some things. But I just kind of felt like with the coaches that were initially out there, I feel like they should have made a harder bid for some of those guys. You know what I mean? You know, between Bud, even Nick Nurse, you know what I mean? Maybe not even letting go of Monty, giving Monty another chance with a full year of KD and maybe getting some more pieces in the offseason. You know, you let Monty stay another year. But, yeah, you're right. He wasn't great in Orlando. But I feel like, you know, it's weird, right? He's had recent success, but I just don't know if he's the right fit for this team and its pieces. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
who knows? He's coming into some good players, so it's not like he's rebuilding this team entirely. But
they still do have some decisions to make as far as CP3 and Ayton. So
facts.
It'll be interesting to see how it shakes out. But I wasn't too excited either. I'm like,
yeah, I was like, whatever.
Want to welcome Mom to the show. What's up, Mom?
Mom?
Welcome in. Anthony Weston says the Lakers wanted Monty. He took the Suns job. Lakers picked up Vogel just for Monty to get fired, and they get Vogel. That's funny. What a difference it would have been. But speaking of Monty Williams, too, another segue from our boy, getting the highest paid. He will be the highest paid coach, I believe, in the league right now, going to the Pistons. He's going to have to endure some pain, but maybe he can rebuild them and kind of transform them the way he did with the Suns, get them coached up. Thoughts on Monty Williams in Detroit?
Feel bad for him. You know what I mean? It's nice that he has a job, right? Like I won't, you know, speak on nobody having or not having a job, but it's going to be tough. You know what I mean? He's going from you know, a playoff contending team to definitely not a playoff contending team, right?
Right.
So, you know, glad he has a job. I'm happy for him there, but he's got his work cut out for him.
I feel you.
I think he'll do good there. I don't think that people expect much from him. So I think he has some time to get it together. It won't be like, oh, you got to win now.
Yeah,
so he'll have time, and on the other end, you got to pay. So I don't pay. So
right.
I think he'll get them back doing pretty good because that's a basketball city. You know, they need that. You know, the Lions are doing good now, so I think he can get because Cunningham is a good piece to play with. You get somebody else to come over that respects him. He'll get some players over there too, so I think they'll be okay in the East.
Right. I really like Killian Hayes too, and he's good. He gets a lot of assists.
Yeah, he does.
If he can start scoring, if Monty Williams can help him with that, you never know. But that leaves the Raptors as the last team without a head coach. And so we'll see who they grab. They have a couple candidates going, but I think it'll be interesting to see who they grab. And then the coaching carousel will be closed.
The Ivy kid's good too. Think about it.
Oh yeah, for the Pistons, they have a lot of young talent because they always have top 5 draft picks.
Yeah, true that.
So we'll see what they end up doing with it. But I think that's all we have for NBA. I want to transition to now what I believe is the biggest story of the day, and I'm really was surprised by this when I seen the group chat come out. But I gotta definitely ask Marcus about this one. PGA Tour and LIV Golf now being under one umbrella, basically merging, coming across the table to create we don't even know yet exactly what it's going to look like. But Marcus, what were your thoughts when you saw this news?
Well, when I first seen it, I thought, well, how we on Instagram we get those fake news things. So I was like, okay, it's fake news. And I looked at it again. I'm like, wait, I went to Twitter. Twitter always gets everything first. So Twitter was talking about it. I was like, there's no way this happened. It was like, there was no way we'll come together. But then I thought about it. That's like the smartest thing to do. So I think it's gonna be great. But on the bad side, I didn't think about it until I seen some other guys posting it, is the LIV guys got paid great money. They left at the right time. Now they still on tour. So the guys that stayed with the PGA, they didn't get the chance to go over and get that money. Now they stuck over there where they get paid. So that's the bad thing about it, And I think that the thing that opened it up was Brooke Koepka. I think he's the force of it because he could have won 2 majors. So they look like this guy is doing, he's fresh, you know what I'm saying? He not paying a lot, you know what I'm saying? So it's not fair to us. So I think money talks. I think they talk about money in the background. And the PGA is smart, It's smart to do that because I think what happened when they started letting this guy play in the 4 majors, that started it, I think. Because they supposed to have been banned from the PGA completely, but that didn't happen. So I think with this happening too, I think I give it 2 years. I think golf gonna be the top 3 sports in the world. I think gonna be football, basketball, and golf because there's gonna be a lot of money involved. A lot of people, young people, gonna get involved to it. They're gonna be going watching. It's gonna be on TV everywhere. So I think they're gonna do some big things. So I think golf is on its way to make some big things happen.
Man, I couldn't agree more, Marcus. I was when we were talking about it in the group chat. I'm saying I didn't mention it, but golf is getting younger. You know what I'm saying? Like, the golf scene's getting a lot younger. Like I've been going out there a little bit more lately. You know what I'm saying? Marcus kind of inspired me to get out on a golf course a little bit. And I'm seeing younger and younger people. I'm seeing more Black people out there, just everything in general. So like, from a money wise, like it's smart. You know what I'm saying? Like we're talking about billions of dollars to be made, and PGA pulled that trigger because it was smart, man. It was a really good idea. Does suck for a couple of those guys who didn't take some of them deals, you know what I'm saying? But kind of is what it is. But I think the PGA players and some of the guys who have been speaking out so much against it have been taking all these hits for the PGA stuff. I think it kind of more so sucks for them. The Rory McIlroy people have been coming. They've been going at Rory for a while, man. Like even Phil Mickelson took a jab and hit at Rory a little bit, poking fun at him a little bit. So I feel for him on why he would be extremely upset about this. But at the end of the day, when that much money is involved, ain't no loyalty.
Yeah.
That's the funniest thing. Like, that's my biggest takeaway is like the PGA Tour was out there being like, anybody that would go there is bad for golf. They can't look at themselves in the mirror. This and that. Like, that's my biggest thing is like they asked for that loyalty. And those players that gave it, Rory, they offered him $400 million. Tiger, they offered him $800 million. Hideki Matsuyama, like $200 million, like that they could have had to try, but they were like loyal to the PGA and like, no, we're gonna stay on brand and we're gonna stick with that. And the PGA just thought, oh, we're big and bad and old school. We're just gonna, these guys will go away. It took less than a year. LIV built up, but LIV's first tournament, I will look back, it was June 9th of last year. So it took less than a year and less than like 13 tournaments for the PGA to be like, dang, like to wake them up. So I definitely congratulate LIV Golf on doing that. I do think that the PGA is hypocritical, but they're like in the long run, it's gonna make sense. It's gonna make sense. Yeah.
I think by next year, what's gonna happen is they're gonna lose too many people from the PGA Tour. They're gonna lose LIV. Because the thing is, the 4 majors, like I can go play with LIV Golf, get paid a lot of money, and still come to the PGA and win majors. That's all it's about. It's about majors. It's not about
more flexibility, more money, all that.
Exactly.
So I think PGA they like, hey man, what can we do? Like we gotta go talk to these guys and see if we can combine it. And LIV they're not gonna turn it down. They look good. They look like we won. So
exactly.
I want to do that, so let's do it. You know. So
exactly.
Yeah, Phil Mickelson especially, and our other dude that is retired now, but the one that was the LIV Golf president, like they had so much stake in it too. Like they're caked up even more now, and their experiment worked. So I think it's pretty crazy. But I am also interested to see over the next couple of years what happens. I think right now they might keep them separate, and maybe they do some crossover like WWE type, WWF type, like LIV versus PGA things for the next like maybe year or something, and then slowly they just bring it up into one big big tour. That's what I'm kind of thinking, but it's just interesting. It's just crazy, but I'm really kind of excited about it. Like I think it is good for golf, and I think in the long run, like it's gonna be so cool. But I'm proud of LIV Golf. I can't lie, man. They were talking mad stuff about
they did that thing, man. They did that thing,
Yeah.
and Phil Mickelson won. He put himself out there. And I know he's at home right now drinking a cigar and some yak. And like I won.
Right. Because they were the first ones to be blasting him for sure. And like I just think it was just so funny that he was the one that was like, hey, they might be some bad guys or whatever. There might be whatever, but hey, the money is what it is, and we're gonna make this happen. And the PGA is singing the same song a year later. It's pretty crazy. I do want to welcome Ung to the show though. What's good, Ung? Thank you for being here. And Anthony Weston, Tiger threatened to leave for that lucrative offer. Oh yeah, for sure. I think Tiger though, the only thing is Tiger's already like a billionaire, so he's not really tripping. But I think if he would have considered leaving, he would have went them first and been like, you better bring out the bag. So but this is crazy. We'll see where it goes from here. But definitely a big day. And I do want to put together, I might, if I can make enough time and sit down and do it, all the different things that we talked about along the way and kind of the timeline over the last year of all the different places of where it was at and to where it is now. It's pretty crazy to see such a turn. So that's what's up. A couple other things that we want to touch on. NHL Stanley Cup Final. Vegas is up 2-0. So shout out to Stephanie Washington. Hopefully they'll be bringing home the cup. And if they do, they'll be the second championship for Vegas. The first being the WNBA Aces last year. So shout out to the Knights. I think they're probably going to get it done, but we'll see how things change as they go back to Florida. The next thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but I need to get your opinions on this. And this is during the French Open. Novak Djokovic, who is, most majors in all of men's tennis, was wearing this. He was changing his shirts in between matches, and they caught a picture of this. It looks like the battery from your car, Fob, in the middle of his, like taped to the middle of his chest. They asked him about it afterwards, and he said it's nanotechnology that actually boosts his on-court performance. And he also said that he's a fan of Iron Man, and it makes him feel like Iron Man. Do you think that there could be something to this? And do you think that this is like performance enhancing?
I think it's for attention. I'm gonna say I think it's for attention. He knows exactly what he was doing. He knows it's gonna be seen like that, and he got in trouble before with enhancement drugs. So I think he's gonna throw it out there. He knows it's not nothing to do with enhancement because he won't risk his player again like that. So I think he's, what'd you say, trolling, like the younger guy said. He's trolling right now.
Yeah, and they did ask the French Open kind of like, I don't know, whatever, the rule makers or whatever, the people that run it, like if they had any comment about it, and they said no comment. So they haven't said whether they think it's performance enhancing or not. But Strizzy, what do you think? Even if it's placebo effect, like maybe it does help him.
Right. I wonder if he's got some money in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe he's an investor, you know what I'm saying? So he's trying to, get it out there. Just like Marcus said, like, you don't take your shirt off where everyone can see it and just be like, yeah, it's a performance enhancing thing.
Oh, that? What you mean? Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, makes me feel like Iron Man. You know what I mean? Like, he probably got some skin in the game. You know what I mean? So, but I think that he'd have to go to someone to show them what it is. Otherwise, he's gonna get suspended again. You know what I'm saying? Like, so probably no different than say like some creatine or something. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is.
That's so funny though to me. Like, I agree though. I thought the same thing. They did already come up with like who makes it and stuff. and it's like $250. But there's no like, you know, there's no clear indication that he's like an endorsee or like whatever. But I'm like, he probably is like, yo, after your sales boost, like ever from here forward, I want to get a little cut off them $250 for a battery type of thing. So
you gotta think about it too. Look at it's like it's taped on. Is
right,
it really
like,
anything? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, for real.
I don't get that. But that's why I'm curious. I'm like, is it supposed to be like you just tape it to your chest? Like, I don't get it. But I'm gonna try to find out. I'm gonna try to find the company website. But apparently it's a company from overseas somewhere. And I don't know. Maybe we can see more about this nanotechnology. I don't know. But I think that's pretty much it, though. I think we did pretty good. I did want to say shout out to Oklahoma women's softball. They're in the Women's Softball World Series, and they're going for their third straight World Series. So
yeah, they've been nice. They've been nice.
They're dominant. They're like on like a UConn basketball type of run for softball. So we'll see if they can get it done. They're playing Florida State in the Women's Softball World Series. So we'll see. You know what I'm saying? We'll see about that. But I think on this little list here, I think that's pretty much it that we had to talk about. Did you guys have anything else that you wanted to mention or bring up before we move forward?
Go Heat.
Okay, cool.
Get ready for 200, dog. That's all we're gonna do.
Yes, I did want to talk about that. I did want to say also happy birthday to my grandma. I love her so much. She's turning 80. She turned 86 today. So I wanted to shout her out real quick. Throw up a recent picture of us together. Grandma Mac, happy birthday. Love you so much. So excited we're gonna try to celebrate her birthday, do a little bingo this weekend. So that should be so that's what's up.
You gonna take her to bad bingo or what?
What's that?
You gonna take her to bad bingo or what?
No. We gonna do the regular. We gonna keep it.
I ain't having that.
Right. No, we're gonna keep it we're gonna keep it simple, but it should be pretty cool. But definitely wanted to give her a quick shout out. And I did want to talk a little bit about episode 200, another big event coming up. I think we've got Marcus is gonna get us a spot to do it at, and then also I think we're gonna open it up a little bit if people want to come. But we're gonna have to have you guys RSVP by like June 21st. I think that we're gonna have to cut it off like that because what I'm doing is I am gonna secure us some plates. So anybody that comes down and wants to watch the show live, we're gonna have some plates of food. One of our good friends that does a lot of charity work is actually headed out to Africa at the end of this month on a mission trip, and so she's doing fundraiser, and her fundraiser is to sell food. So all the food plates we're gonna get from her, that's gonna go to a great cause. So we're gonna have food there, and we are gonna have some type of interactive game with anybody that comes down, and we'll also of course do our normal, we'll hit our normal topics. But that's really exciting. We definitely want to do something a little bit different. And a lot of fun for us to celebrate our 200. I can't believe, we started this thing in like September 2019, and so yeah, try to be consistent. And every single Tuesday since then, thankfully Marcus put up with us. We're like, yo, we gonna keep showing up. Made it through the pandemic, all that. So we just
we're gonna have the Pops couch too. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have it on the side. So maybe some guests come on and sit by Pops, and I'm gonna talk to them. Don't be shy. That'd be dope too. Yes.
We'll do that. We definitely want to get some people out there, and I know we have a lot of people like Anthony is saying too. He lives in Texas, so I know we have a lot of people out of town, and we understand that. But we'll try to make it interactive for you as well. Unc saying he'll be in town for episode 200. That's what's up. So Unc will definitely get the details to you. And it should be a lovely thing. So the countdown is officially on. It's at the end of this month, and we're gonna get up on our social media too to make sure that we're putting in different announcements out there too, and kind of building it up for that. So lots to look forward to. Anthony Weston says his grandma turns 87 in July. Happy birthday, grandma! Early birthday to Anthony Weston's grandma for sure. And definitely, never a bad time to tell your family you love them. Got to stick together in these days, and you never know. Life is very precious. So as we say, always we appreciate y'all spending your time with us, rocking with us each and every week, and being a part of our SLAC family. I guess that's it though. What's that?
So you set records.
Oh yeah, this might be. But Strizzy, help us come in. But I just wanted to ask how your giveaway went.
Oh, went good, man. My boy Earthly won. Shout out to our boy Earthly. You know what
Oh,
I'm
that's what's up.
Yeah, Earthly actually won one of them, and then just another a follower of mine who won, who I don't know, but it's actually really cool. Funny enough, I didn't know Earthly actually knew Grace. Like I didn't know they worked together, so like I had no idea that. So I thought that's actually really, really cool. We got to chop it up for a little bit. We actually met in person to drop off his gift card. I mailed out the other one.
Nice.
So we got to chop it up a little bit. So it was actually really cool to see, one of our slackers win. So shout out to our boy Earthly, man. That was dope.
Absolutely, yeah. Earthly's family, and maybe he could pop in for episode 200. You never know.
Yeah,
we'll see. But that's what's up. And I got it now that we know who won it. We're gonna have to figure out what he ends up buying with them snacks. We're gonna need some kind of evidence to see what he gets with that gift card. So, so that's what's up. That's what's up. Thank you for sharing that. And I guess we'll end it right there. We'll set this record. Thank you guys again. Appreciate all the love. Oh wait, Unk's got a baseball question. All right. We'll wait for Unk's baseball question because Unk has been so gracious and generous to hooking it up with the baseball cards, hooking up with the
so grateful for that, man. Thank you for that.
Is Ethan Salas any good? I'm gonna be perfectly honest. The name does not ring a bell at all. So either he's on the come up or maybe not. But we'll figure it out. I'll do some research for you, Unk.
Look him up.
Yeah, I'll do some research. I'll do some research on that one for you. Anthony West says Royals. I hope better days ahead. Yeah, it's looking really bad out there. Yeah. Too bad they can't go back to spring training. They did good in spring training. But that's what's up. We'll leave it there. And again, appreciate y'all rocking with us. Happy Tuesday to all, and go Heat.
Go Heat, man. Go Heat.
All right, it's your boy A-Dub.
Let's get this done.
It's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Strizzy, my fault.
Let's go, man. Heat time. That's all.
And you say the truth. They open up my